go. I'm unstoppable, do the impossible. I'm irresponsible, yet I'm phenomenal. I got an arsenal, I'm dropping bombs, you know. No, I'm not stopping, no. Conquer the obstacle. To the top, here I go, think I'm chosen to be the king of rock, think the people have spoken. I can hear the tick-tock of the clock, I'm in motion. So now I'm gonna pop, causing all this commotion. Yeah. Sometimes I think that I'm unstoppable.
Well, about the only thing we had left on this week's show was going over Raw, Smackdown, NXT, AEW, but we haven't got Smackdown this week, obviously, but we can preview it. But we decided. What's that?
I was just going to say, Eric, you might want to let the fans know that we have a new method.
Yeah, we've got a little bit new of a new format for the pro wrestling segment of the show. We realized that last week and the week prior we kind of went long with the pro wrestling segment, so we've decided to truncate the segment down to 20 minutes tops for all 4 shows, 5 minutes per show. I've also added a countdown clock. The panels here are not going to be able to see it right now, but everybody viewing at home will be able to see it, and there will be a buzzer when the 5 minutes is up. So we'll starting now with 5 minutes on Monday Night Raw. Highs and lows, go.
Okay, bro. Fuck that. Fuck them birds. Fuck that team.
Wait.
Yes.
So I didn't watch Raw. So they
didn't either.
Randy Orton and Riddle are now a tag team, and they're calling it RK Bro.
Yeah.
I love it.
You would, Thomas. You would.
I mean, we all know how it's going to go.
What's
Orton's going to turn on him. They're going to have a feud, and it's not going to go on forever.
No, I actually don't expect it to go much longer than maybe a couple weeks. And to me, it makes me feel like Riddle's being booked like an idiot, because how does he not see this RKO coming? But other than that, Randy Orton playing a straight guy to Riddle's goofiness, entertaining. I'll say that. And they worked well in the ring on Monday night, too.
Is it going to be just one of those things that leads to a feud between the two of them?
I'm guessing, because you got to remember, Riddle beat Orton clean last week on Raw, so it's kind of interesting to me that Randy all of a sudden wants to be teammates.
Well, do you remember the Twitter beef they had a year back or so? So, I mean, it's probably how Thomas said it's going to happen.
Okay.
The only other thing really worth of noting is what Braun Strowman, didn't he turn on, I don't want to say turn as in becoming a heel, but he took out fucking Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, and now he's in the triple threat match at WrestleMania Backlash now, too, because he just beat Drew. They were on like 3 different matches on this show and ended up getting in a number 1 contendership match, again, which Braun lost last week, but now they're putting him in another match to be the number 1 contender, which I'm like, okay, did you just lose?
Horrible booking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, we had
Braun.
Yeah, I agree. Braun's he looks great. He's getting a lot, more muscular and trim.
Every time I ever got high on Braun, they didn't pull the trigger and give him the title. And now that they want to get him back in that picture, I don't care.
Yeah, I'm with you, dude.
That's what they seem to do with a lot of stars nowadays, anyways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I can't go past this segment without mentioning the tomato fight that happened between Miz, Jackson Ryker Elias, and the New Day and Damian Priest. They were literally brought out a guitar case full of tomatoes and started chucking them on the Miz TV segment at Miz and his cohorts. So,
and supposedly Morrison got hit in the ball shoot. So
yeah. But tomato fights, and on top of that, buckets of water were being thrown around in the women's tag match later that night, because they ought to have Nia Jax slip sliding around, because the whole thing that happened in Mania, they got to make Nia out to be this goof.
Why?
Because they think it's funny.
Look, man, I'm really trying to ride with you on this given WWE shit, but if you keep on popping off like that, we're going to get into an AEW thing, because they ain't fucking any better, all right?
Well, I mean, I'm trying to find good in Raw. Believe me, I gave WrestleMania praise, so I'm trying to find good here.
And I'm trying to ride with you, man. You got you motherfucker.
I mean, it's also worth noting, no AJ or Almost or Bray Wyatt on this show again.
I heard that they're going to be AJ and Almas will be on Raw next week. Now, of course, that may change come Monday morning, but I heard that Almas is kind of nursing an injury right now, I think from Mania. So
never mind.
That's why they've been off the last couple of weeks, but I think it's being reported that they're going to be back on Monday.
Okay.
Coming Monday.
Great. What's next?
Dominic Dijakovic and Dio Madden are still being called T-Bar and Mace, even though they're not wearing their mask anymore, and they're now wearing face paint. They look like a bad version of Ascension or Legion of Doom.
I saw somewhere a meme, like, how it started, how it is, or, like, it was something, and then they had T-Bar and Mace as, like, the Wish product of what you ordered.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
It was the exact same face paint as, I think, the Road Warriors.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't the same. It wasn't the same.
It was similar.
Also, John.
Go
ahead.
Black dude's face paint looked like fucking Andre the Giant when he was trying to like kill the Ultimate Warrior or whatever. They were just fucking different colored lines. It was terrible.
Oh God.
Also, John Morrison returned on this show, and I guess during his promo said he has, quote, a moist voice as Johnny Drip Drip. So that's just some of the verbiage they use. Also,
True.
Also, Rhea.
Shut up. He said true.
True.
Oh, does that get you moist, TA?
Yeah.
He said true.
Also, Rhea Ripley once again stared off into the distance during a promo. She hit her finishing maneuver during the tag match, and then also immediately tagged out to Nia Jax so she could get the win, even though she had a finisher, which I thought was interesting. But that's the 5 minutes on this segment, so I guess
Thank God.
Yep.
we'll move. That's pretty much all I had covered for.
Moving on.
All right, so we'll move on to NXT now. I don't know. I thought overall it wasn't a bad show. It didn't have a lot of great stuff on there. There's a lot of main roster comedy, but the first 20 minutes, obviously, there was a match with Mercedes Martinez and Dakota Kai that ended in a DQ finish when Raquel Gonzalez kicked Mercedes in the head. Great match until the finish.
Dude, legit, I thought you was going to say she gave her a cunt punt. I thought you were going to say she kicked her right in the coochie.
Now, why would I say that? I mean,
well, I didn't think you were going to place it that way. Like,
sorry. Sometimes when I get to read my own handwriting, it doesn't go well. But yeah,
I wasn't expecting him to say that either.
What?
But
Cunt punt?
yeah,
Cunt punt.
Yeah, I didn't expect it.
no, man, I didn't even.
Well, that's what I expected, guys. So I'm just saying.
to me, it's just like, okay, you ruined another great match with a DQ finish, but I get you're setting up Raquel and Mercedes Martinez, so that in that regard, it does make some sense. We had Ember and Shotzi backstage arguing over who did not receive flowers from Dexter Loomis. Yeah, Loomis. Sorry. Tony Storm got pinned on a distraction finish from Zoe Stark. Tony Storm was already beat clean by Zoe Stark. Now Tony Storm will likely win the rematch, so it's probably going to be 50-50 booking to get Tony her win back, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
I doubt it.
Tony Storm can do no wrong, all right?
Hey, I like Tony Storm. I think she kind of has this Bret Hart thing going on.
I don't think Tony's going to. No, I think she won't get her win back yet.
I'm a terrible guest, and I didn't watch Raw or SmackDown or AEW.
No, dude, you're not a
Don't feel bad. Some of these guys
No,
didn't
we
either.
have people on the panel that didn't even watch it.
Either. I just know
We
it's
just-
a little dumb.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
keep
I
up with
haven't,
it.
I haven't even watched it, bro. Anything on it.
Sadly, I'm a glutton for punishment, and I do watch these shows, unfortunately.
I can't
And
do it.
I've never actually watched an episode of AEW.
Huh? I mean,
Well, then
I
you're
don't think
better
Tony has either.
no, I don't think.
You're better
I
off
can't-
for it.
Come on,
I can't
man.
do it. I can't do it. Like
Hey, to each their own, though. I'm never
Okay,
going to
all
begrudge
right.
anybody.
I'm
done. I'm done. I'll cut it
I'm
off.
gonna
I'm
do
sorry.
this.
I'm sorry. I took over. I took over.
No, you're fine, man.
No, you're fine. I'm just saying I would rather have a long tube of glass stuffed down the hole of my dick, and
Time's
then
ticking.
busted inside than watch AEW.
Damn.
Wow. Also on NXT, they teased dissension with Imperium a little bit. Alexander Wolf would not hit Killian Dane on the outside. Killian Dane, they may even be teasing that he may join Imperium, or maybe even Alexander Wolf may break off and rejoin his Sanity partner, Dane and Maverick, and make it 3-on-3 with Imperium. That's always possible. But
Yeah.
I don't want to see him break up Imperium all together, but you drop out Wolf, I'm okay with it, I guess.
Yeah, he's like the black sheep of the group. Like,
So
And the fact that him and Killian have that history will work out well. So
Yeah.
makes sense.
the 6-man main event was really good, other than the fact, again, I'm a stickler about pinning champions. I don't know why, I just am.
Why?
Because it makes them look weaker when you do it. Now, don't get me wrong, you can do it occasionally, but don't do it every week on every segment to set up tag team matches or title matches by beating the champions all the time. To me, that's a little bit lazy. But occasionally, I got no problem beating a champion. You know, like
What was the main? What was the main?
It was MSK and Kushida versus Legado del Fantasma, and I guess Legado del Fantasma pinned one of the champions from MSK in the 6-man tag.
Our good friend Shima Zion, a part of the El Fantasma, Orgasmo, Legita, whatever the fuck you call it.
Other than that, though, great match. I mean, great TV main event. Ted DiBiase made a debut on this. Basically, who was it? Cameron Grimes was in a watch store, was buying expensive Rolexes, and DiBiase walked in there with a more expensive watch and gave his laugh and walked off. So I chuckled a little bit. I marked out for Ted DiBiase. I ain't gonna lie, but
awesome.
Yeah. Indy Hartwell told Loomis in one of the matches that she thought he talked too much, which I thought was interesting because Loomis doesn't talk ever.
That's the point.
Loomis is such a weird character, but I like him.
Oh, that was during the Bronson Reed Austin Theory match, which again, Bronson Reed, who lost his title opportunity against Gargano at I believe it was the Takeover night 2, and all of a sudden he gets another opportunity by beating Theory. This is where the distraction with Indy came into play, but Bronson Reed wins and gets another shot at Gargano.
I'm not saying my outlook on Gargano has changed, but I'll give him a little more slack since he treated our boy Thomas Adams so well. I'll be a little less harsh.
And that match with O'Reilly was incredible. Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher made a return on the stage, and Ciampa called Timothy Thatcher Toothless Timmy. I guess because he's missing a tooth. I just thought that was kind of funny, so I thought I'd throw that in there too.
He's not missing a nut.
Like Thatcher and Tommaso Ciampa to me are like one of the two realest guys in the ring. If that makes sense, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right?
You've seen the match that they had together. They beat the hell out of each other, like real. So like, I feel like two of the people you probably don't want to make fun of are those two, but I get what they're doing with the Grizzled Young Vets because they're also again two of the same people. Like,
right,
who have that realism about them in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I think that'll work. The feud between those four guys would be good.
Okay, the time has expired for NXT, but I will say that Adam Cole also had a he came off as a star with a sit-down interview he had. O'Reilly was looking on and shaking his head to the interview. It looks like they're going to maybe set up, I don't know, loser leads NXT match. I don't know where you go after the big match they had at TakeOver, but you can go somewhere with it.
Killed each other now.
Right, it'll still be good.
Talking about hard hitters, Thomas, who's the hardest person you've ever been in the ring with as far as hitting? Like, who lays it in?
Rephrase that one.
Probably the Bev, Bobby Beverly.
Man, Bobby Beverly. That's wow.
So he's stiff.
But honestly, those were my favorite matches, because he wants it back. Like he gives it to you and he wants it back.
Right.
But probably Bobby, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. Well, so
you have no idea who the fuck Bobby Beverly is.
No.
All right, we got 2 more shows to run through here, so I'll start the countdown again now, and we'll go through. Hold on, let me start it again. I missed it. All right, there we go. AEW Dynamite. All right, I want to take part of this here. I understand.
I don't know.
But Tony knows that I have been defending AEW Dynamite's booking. And, of course, they start the show and make me look a little bit stupid. So, because I'm going to criticize them. I've told you I'd be fair. They start the night with Brian Cage versus Adam Hangman Page, the number 1 contender, according to the rankings, for Kenny Omega's title, right? And before the match, Adam Hangman Page is attacked by Team Taz, powerbombed on the stage, and he never really recovers and pretty much gets squashed by Brian Cage in this match, and they pin Adam Hangman Page, the supposed number 1 contender. The only thing I can think of is they're not doing the match right now against Kenny Omega, and they feel like he can afford the loss. But even so, I don't agree with them maybe pinning Adam Hangman Page just yet. I don't know if I like that.
Here's the thing with that, though. Even going into the start of AEW, they were making Adam Page to be that one.
Yeah.
From this whole point on. Then he had that whole thing with Kenny as a tag team, and then the whole drinking shit, and then now this shit with the Dark Order or whatever the hell they're called, and then either do it at this point or don't. Because
I can agree.
It's getting to be tiresome and old to where you're not going to give the shit about Hangman at all after a while.
I think what they're trying to do is wait till the crowd's back, but you can only do that so long.
Yeah.
So I agree. And they better happen soon. I'd say by the end of this year or even this summer, they need to pull the trigger on him. Or, like you said, fans are going to start losing interest, and I totally get it. Try to see here. Outside of that, I thought the show was fairly booked well. I know some people on this panel ain't going to agree with it. Had good matches all the way down the card. I thought the build-up to Blood and Guts next week, especially with the parlay segment with the Inner Circle Pinnacle, was good. They did not brawl. It didn't end up in a brawl like we thought it might. It actually ended up with
Jericho's promo on that. He's pretty fucking passionate about that.
But here's the thing, though. You have, at this point, 2 factions that one of them has to lose, right?
It's going to be Inner Circle.
It can't be the Pinnacle because you're trying to build them up.
Right.
But if it's the Circle, then what's the fucking point? Because now you're just having a bunch of guys who could use a push, and you're not going to do anything. Like, what's the 2?
The Pinnacle needs to win this match. That's all there is.
Yeah, if they don't, I'll be mad. And you know how I am as an AEW defender. So, yeah, I'll be upset. Yeah.
Brandon, you talking about Ortiz and Santana?
Yeah.
Yeah, they need to get more involved in the tag scene.
Seriously.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they'll probably eventually go that route. But the Bucks could lose the titles, but I don't. It sounds like they're building to Moxley and Kingston possibly winning those titles. But it seems like we may also, after this show, get Kingston versus Moxley or Kingston versus Omega first. Obviously, Moxley or Kingston ain't going to win that match, but they had a great segment where Kingston had Nakazawa down and was going to break his ankle, and he told Kenny, "If you don't get in the ring, I'm going to break his ankle." Kenny goes, "Go ahead." He knew what he signed up for. Break his ankle. So I thought that was funny. But other than that, it set up the match, and they're going to do a tag match next week for the Blood and Guts show, which also has a stacked card, by the way, with Cody versus QT and that match. And I think they got a tag team #1 contenders match and things like that. Plus the
also got Moxley versus some Japanese legend who I don't even know.
Yugi Nagata.
He was about to say Japanese lesbian.
Yeah, Yugi Nagata for the IGWP US title in a couple weeks. So that could be interesting. I don't think I've ever seen Yugi Nagata wrestle. I know we've watched some New Japan stuff a little bit, but I don't think we have.
But he was about to say
right.
Japanese.
So I think we've definitely hit our 5-minute mark, haven't we?
Oh, we still got a minute, actually. But I can't think of anything else that's really of note on the show.
I like that. I watched Jericho cut a promo in that face-off with the Pinnacle. I watched that today.
Well done.
It was pretty good. I mean, Jericho, we all know, has been great on the mic probably since day one.
Mm-hmm. And I think probably the only thing we really didn't mention too was Darby Allin defended his title again against 10 in the main event. Another good solid match, just highlighting Darby Allin as a fighting champion. So in that case, proper building for the title. Anyway, it keeps it relevant, keeps it strong. But other than that, I think that's about all there really is to say about AEW. So we won't take the full 5 minutes. Tony, we'll cut it off with 18 seconds left. How about that? Good.
All right.
But hey, we blew through. We do got one more show.
But all we're doing is you're just going to give a rundown of what's going to happen.
Yeah, but we can talk about what we think might happen. You want to do that or no?
I think we're doing really good on time. It's 11:11.
Yeah.
I think we can wrap this up in the next 15 minutes.
Yeah, we'll skip Smackdown this week.
Yeah, ready to go, man, lock and load. That's right. I swear to God that I could drop it, bro. Yeah, I got a shot and I ain't stopping, no. That's how I know that I'm unstoppable.